I'm sure it is, but
Good afternoon and welcome to today's training. My name is Mark Krebs. I'm a gold qualified consultant with Team Sunset, part of Team Empire and Team Rising Tide and Team World Explorer. Today's training is all about 21-day booking procedures and travel fraud detection and prevention. Some of you, this is a good training for everybody to get twice a year, just as a refresher for you older agents and for you new agents, so that you understand the importance of the 21-day booking policies that Archer has in place and the fraud detection and prevention, because these two things go hand in hand. Okay, because if you get a booking within 21 days of travel, um, a lot of times that is where the fraudulent bookings take place, and we want you to be aware of what to look for. And so later on during this training, during the fraud detection and prevention portion of the training, I'm going to show you some examples of fraudulent emails that have come across my desk and along with Archer's at the office, so that you guys can get an idea of what to look for in your email. We'll also talk about ways to um, prevent it on social media or ways to spot it on social media. So we're going to go through a lot of good information today. So let's go ahead and get started here. The tips of the day from Archer is to tell your clients when traveling to contact you immediately if anything is wrong, their room, their cabin, something's wrong at the resort, etc. Make sure that you get the names of the customer service representative or guest service representative that you are speaking with, especially for cruises, suppliers, vendors that you're working with. And if you are a mentor or a leader, advise any of your new agents that you are working with on the 21-day booking procedures that we are going to go over today. You can always refer them to my training that we are doing today. It is being recorded and will be on my YouTube. There is also a 21-day booking guideline in the Travel Cafe, which will be shown later on in the training. So this is the travel fraud detection and prevention training from Archer Travel for this summer 2024. The first thing that we're going to talk about are the booking 21 days booking regulations that are listed in the Travel Cafe. So if you look right here, there is a tab within the Travel Cafe that says booking within 21 days of travel. You click on that and it's going to give you all this information that I'm going to talk about here in just a minute. Why are we going over this information? We're going over it to clear up any misunderstandings that our agents have about the 21-day booking procedures. We're going over it to make the process easier for all of our agents, new and old. We're going over it to make the process faster to use for all of the agents. And we're going over it to prevent travel fraud or agent be aware. Because again, this is where a lot of travel fraud takes place, is within 21 days of booking. And the reason for that is because if people are using a stolen credit card or a fraudulently obtained credit card, they are going to want to travel within 21 days because of the fact that the charges will not have hit the credit card within that time frame on the statement. So the client or the person who is the victim of the theft may not even know that their card or card number had been stolen or skimmed and the number stolen until after travel has taken place. And it's going to be too late because that fraudster has already committed the fraud and traveled on that other person's dime. Okay. And it is very hard to track those stolen credit cards down. So that's why we're talking about the 21-day booking regulations and how to detect and prevent travel fraud. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions up to this point? All right. And you guys can unmute yourself for any questions as well as they come up, or put them into the chat box. That is perfectly fine. So what is 21 days? So let's say you're booking a client on the 10th of June and they want to travel on the 22nd. That is within 21 days of departure. Okay, so that's what that means. If they want to travel within 21 days of the booking date, that is what the 21-day policy means. Now, this does not apply to all suppliers. It only applies to 12 certain suppliers because they do not have the fraud detection and prevention policies in place that meet Archer standards. And we'll go over those suppliers here in just a minute. Okay? But you should really follow these procedures and be very, very wary, especially if you do not know the client. And we'll go over that again here in just a few minutes when we get to the fraud detection and prevention portion of the training. So again, it is within 21 days of the date of booking. So as you can see here on the calendar, the 8th to the 28th would be within anything shaded in red here would be within 21 days of booking. Make sense?
Makes sense.
All right. If you are booking travel within 21 days of departure, you must submit a completed credit card authorization form and the booking information to Archer Travel if the reservations are made within 21 days of departure with the following suppliers below. And notice that most of these are in VAX. Apple Vacations, American Airline Vacations, AM Resort Collection. If you use Beds Online, you must do this. Blue Sky Tours Hawaii, so VAX. Funjet, VAX. Pleasant Holidays, Ski.com. Southwest Vacations, Travel Impressions, United Vacations, all in VAX. And then Delta World Agent Direct. Okay? And I asked Mary Dring why we have to do that, because Delta has a very good fraud prevention system in place, but this is an Archer policy, is what she told me. So I'm kind of surprised that they're on the list, but that's what you have to do. So if you are booking with any of these 12 suppliers, you must submit a completed credit card authorization form and the booking information to Archer Travel if the reservations are made within 21 days of departure with any of these 12 suppliers. You send that information via email to 21daybookings@archertravel.com. Now, along with that completed credit card authorization form, you send a copy of the front of the credit card with the numbers blacked out and a copy of the photo ID, whether it is the driver's license or the passport of the credit card holder. Okay? So again, that is protocol. You are supposed to be getting that from all of your clients anyway. So again, with the credit card authorization form for all of your clients, regardless if it's a 21-day or less booking, you get a picture of the credit card with all the numbers blacked out. It must show the name of the credit card holder and a copy of the credit card holder's photo ID or passport. And that is for security reasons. That is to ensure that that person is the legal holder of the credit card. Okay? How to fill out the credit card authorization form. We're going to go over this again, but this is all in under the Forms tab in the Travel Cafe. Okay? So this form here is all under the Forms tab, under the credit card authorization form. So again, you, the travel agent, must fill out the top of the credit card authorization form, including your business name, your business address. That cannot be left blank. It must be your home address, unless you are working out of an office that you rent or lease. Your city, state, and zip code, your telephone number and email address, the client's name, your name, not your business name, but your name, the guest name if it is not the client, but in most cases it's going to be, the trip type, so if it's going to be a package or if it's going to be a cruise or just a hotel only booking or just a flight only booking, the confirmation number, so aka the booking number or the reservation number, the departure date and the return date. That is all you fill out. Okay? That is all you are required to fill out. Now, if you're like me, I like to fill out the rest of the information for the client because I want to make everything as simple as possible. But that is all that you are required to fill out. But your client should completely fill out the remaining information and attach a copy of their driver's license and copy of the front of the credit card with the numbers blacked out. The form should be completed with the client's signature, and we need an actual signature. They cannot just type their name. Okay? So you need to tell your clients that they need to actually physically sign either electronically with their finger or with their stylus on their phone using Adobe PDF Reader, or another signature program like DocuSign or anything like that. Or your client can download the credit card authorization form, print it, fill it in by hand, sign it by hand, scan it back to and resend it by email to you. Okay? Remind your client that the charge on their credit card will be from whatever supplier that you are using. So American Airlines Vacations, Delta Vacations, United, Apple Vacations, Southwest Vacations. When you are sending over the credit card authorization form, make sure to state this separately so that they do not think it is coming from Archer Travel or your company, unless you are charging them a service fee from your business that is going through Square or another payment program that has your business name listed. This will prevent clients chargebacks or reporting their booking charges as fraud. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yep.
Okay. Important. Remember that you must provide Archer Travel with proper documentation from the client. That means you must provide that photo of the credit card with the numbers blacked out and the photo of the ID or passport from the credit card holder when doing a 21-day booking. And you must have that information on file and hold it on file for 6 months post-travel in case of a chargeback during that time. That is a law. The travel agent must use an Archer Travel supplier listed through the Travel Cafe website, and the client must have completely filled out the credit card authorization form. If you do not provide Archer Travel with proper documentation, the travel agent is fully responsible for any chargebacks. That means you are financially responsible for any chargebacks that go back to the vendor. What it boils down to, guys, is make sure your documentation is correct. If it is not, your errors and omissions insurance is null and void and will not cover you. And you will be financially responsible for that $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 trip that you made, that you booked, and Archer cannot fight for you if it is not correct. Okay? We've all seen this. This is the credit card authorization form. So your independent contractor information is up top. This is going to be your business name, your home address, your business address, your city, state, zip, business phone number, and email address. This is where your client name is going to go, and then your name, not your business name, your name. The guest name, which in most cases is going to be your client's name, the trip type, the supplier name, the confirmation, the departure date, and the return date. That is all that you fill out as the travel agent that you're required to fill out. Okay. The client is responsible for filling out the rest of it. The contact name, the name as it appears on the credit card, the last 4 digits of the card, the total charge, expiration date, billing address, city, state, zip, phone number, email address. This is also required of every single booking. Travel protection was offered. Yes, this should always be checked. That way it covers you in case the client declines the insurance. They cannot come back and say you did not offer it. Always offer it through either the vendor or through Tin Leg. No other travel insurer, no Alliance, no Nationwide, nobody but Tin Leg or the vendor. And I personally go with Tin Leg. Okay. Travel protection was accepted. Yes. If they accept it, if they decline it, no. You must explain the risks for declining coverage to your client. You must explain to them that if they decline travel insurance, they may not be covered for any changes or cancellations of their trip, and that they are solely responsible and liable for any cancellation penalties and out-of-pocket expenses incurred. This is for all clients, not just your 21-day or less clients. Okay? And you should not have very many of those. I would say less than 1% of your clients will be booking within 21 days. Your client must sign this form either physically with a pen or electronically with their finger or their stylus on their phone and date it. They cannot type their signature in. Okay? Again, this form is found in the Travel Cafe under Forms and then Credit Card Authorization Form. It is in a PDF. You can download it. You can pre-fill your independent contractor information and your name right here and save it so that you can just quickly whip through all of this and have it as a template for every single client that you work with. That's what I do. Does anyone have any questions on the 21-day booking procedures at this point before we move into travel fraud?
I'm good.
Okay. Anybody else?
No, good, thank you.
All right. What is travel fraud? Travel fraud are schemes for making money by deceptive, dishonest, or fraudulent means. For an example, in travel fraud, victims are told by email that they have won a free or incredibly cheap trip. However, these trips often have hidden costs. Tours that are advertised as free may not include airfare to the departure point or the hotel accommodation. The recipient of the quote free trip is required to make these extra reservations through a specific company. In these instances, the costs are much higher than market price. Okay, so that is an example of travel fraud. Now, think about this. Some of us use vouchers as incentives for our clients. We do that ethically by the book. Okay, we disclose all the fees on our vouchers to our clients. We tell them that it does not include transportation to the port or fees and taxes, and we disclose those fees and taxes as we are required to under ethical considerations and by law. Okay, Fraudsters are not going to do that. Fraudsters are just going to try to do anything and everything to make a fast buck. Okay, that is the difference between a fraudster and a true travel agent. Chargebacks. Online shoppers can deliberately abuse the chargeback process to get something for free. Hotel booking and airline ticketing chargebacks are rampant, and they can affect travel intermediaries as well. For example, a customer purchases an expensive vacation package through a travel agency, but even one aspect of the experience can make them demand a chargeback on the entire vacation. Okay? So, for example, if they went on a $12,000 trip to Atlantis, let's say in the Bahamas, and they were staying at the Cove, they didn't like their room, but didn't complain about it. They didn't bring it up to hotel management or hotel staff. They stayed there and they charged back the entire trip. That's an example of fraud. Okay? Because they're not only taking money away from Atlantis, but they're taking money away from the airlines as well. And they're trying to get something for nothing. Does that make sense?
But I have a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where the chargeback is concerned, how do they expect that to happen if they didn't complain about anything?
Exactly. There has to be an investigation done by the credit card company.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. All right, thanks.
Yep, there has to be an investigation done by the credit card company. So if you do not get a report, and that's why you tell your clients, if there is something wrong, contact me first, and I will work with the hotel on your behalf.
Okay.
We'll work with the BDM on your behalf to get the issue fixed. If you cannot solve it, you bring your upline into it, your gold, your platinum. If they can't solve it, then we go to the office. Jose will solve it. Susie will solve it. If we have to get Ron Archer involved, resorts do not like hearing the words, Ron Archer from Archer Travel is now getting involved, or Reggie Rivas is now getting involved. Okay, because they know we are a heavy hitter in the travel industry and they don't want to lose our business.
Exactly. Okay.
So we can usually get things accomplished and resolved for our clients if we work together with the clients and the hotels or the resorts to prevent these chargebacks from occurring in general. But there are some people out there who want to get something for nothing, and that's why it's good to have good records and to have your fraud radar per se up. If something seems off about a booking, bring it up to your upline, to your mentor, to your gold, to your platinum. Heck, bring it up to me or go to the office. Jose and Susie are really good at sniffing these out. I am really good at sniffing these out. I know what to look for because I've been doing this for over 10 years. So, and we'll give you guys some examples here in just a few minutes. Internet and travel agent fraud. Fraudsters prey on travel agents, new agents, and especially those who have their guard down because they are trying to book at the last minute. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Travel agents are especially at risk with big ticket items like lavish vacation packages, which combine air and hotel. Okay? I've got some examples of that I will talk to you guys about in just a few minutes. Fraud detection. Let's say you live in Detroit and you get a Facebook inquiry from somebody who lives in Seattle. that you don't know, red flag needs to go up. You need to do due diligence and talk to that person. Okay? You need to have them contact you over the phone. If they only want to use email, then you need to check the time and origin of their email. Okay? But you need to be extra wary if they only use email and never the phone. That is another sign of a fraudulent booking attempt. If the booking sounds too good to be true, presidential suite in 4 days at the Rio Palace, Macau, in the Dominican Republic, let's just say. I don't even know if they've got a presidential suite. I never looked it up. Okay? That's too good to be true. That would be like a $20,000 booking plus flights. Too good to be true. Fraudulent booking attempt. Now, if I knew the person personally, then yeah, I'd take them up on that in a heartbeat. But if it came from out of left field somewhere, no. If they will not fill out our credit card authorization form, that is an immediate red flag, and you say no to the booking. Okay, let me say that again. If they will not fill out our credit card authorization form, that is an immediate red flag, and you say no to the booking. You tell them it is a requirement by the company that they fill out the credit card authorization for their security and privacy. If they are in a hurry to book, if they only want to do business over the phone, okay? If they ask you, can you book this for me over the phone? That is a good tip-off of it being a fraudulent booking. Happened to me a couple of weeks ago. If they are in a hurry to travel tonight, tomorrow, or the next day, that is another good tip-off that it is a fraudulent booking and that they are probably using a stolen credit card, especially if you do not know the person. Be very careful, okay? Have your guard up at all times with all bookings, especially if you do not personally know the people or they have not been referred to you by somebody you know and trust. Do not waste your time with international inquiries. And I'll give you guys some examples here in just a little bit. Okay? Do not waste your time with international inquiries unless you actually know the person. Because 9 times out of 10, those are coming from India and Africa, and they are fraudulent booking attempts. Be suspicious of all inquiries that you don't know from other states and areas. Okay? Again, if you live in Florida and you are getting an inquiry from Alaska and you don't know anybody from Alaska, come on. Don't take the booking or go through the steps. Do not research it, and I'll explain the steps. Make sure the client or the potential client fills out a credit card authorization form before you do any research. And charge a booking fee. I don't care if it's $25 or $150. That is one way to scare away a fraudster and to know exactly who you're dealing with. And I'll give you guys an example again later. Always connect with your client via phone. Make sure you can have a phone call with them. Again, fill out the Archer credit card authorization form as a as is protocol. Get copy of IDs. Okay, picture works. Check all your referrals from Facebook and your family. Call those referrals. Check their Facebook. Check them out on whitepages.com. Make sure they're legit. When you are ever in doubt, contact your upline. Contact Archer if you have questions. Okay? Like I said, Jose and Susie are really good at sniffing these out. Your upline is really good at sniffing them out. My contact information is on my Zoom video, if you guys can see it. Okay, I still have my video up. Contact me if you need to. Please. I don't want you guys getting burned. I will put my contact information into the description of this video as well. If you are an upline, a recruiter, a sponsor, please check that all new Evolution agents, check on all your new agents and reach out to them. Make sure that their clients are real and are legitimate. If they are real, feel them out, vet them, and get to know them. If something doesn't feel right, make sure they are contacting their upline or Archer. Okay? So for all the upline, the recruiters, and the sponsors, make sure you're working with your new agents so that they know how to detect and prevent travel fraud, and so that they are aware and know what to do with the 21-day booking procedures. And if you guys have any questions about them, contact Jose in the office or contact me. Please contact me or Jose. Here are some examples of fraudulent documents. If you take a look at the lower right-hand side, this passport, this USA passport, was issued by John Connolly. Okay, it looks like a normal passport. The coding is actually off right down here. The USA should be all spaced together, like Connolly is. All of this should be all spaced together. I'm looking at a passport right now, actually, a copy of the passport right now. Okay, right up here. The spacing is all off. And Susie caught this and this. But look here on the left-hand picture. Look at who signed it. Amber. Wrong. Fraudulent passport. Fraudulent document. Okay. Let's take a look at a fraudulent credit card. Again, this came across Archer's desk, guys, on a 21-day fraudulent booking attempt. Again, John Connolly. Look at the Visa card. Okay. My personal Visa card does not have the numbers like that. No, it does not. None of my credit and debit cards have the numbers like that. There's tip number one. Tip number two, the Visa logo is incorrect. Completely incorrect. The logo is completely wrong. Tip number three, the Visa logo on the back of the card should not be there. Okay. Most credit and debit card companies do not have the credit card issuers do not have the brand logo on the back. Few exceptions. US Bank is printing everything on the back of the cards now. So yes, the brand logo is on the back. I will tell you that because I have US Bank for my business and personal accounts, plus a credit card. Number four here. Amber signed it. Again, John Connolly's card, Amber signed it. Number 5, spacing. There's no telephone number here, guys, for customer service. So this is a fraudulent card. There would be a phone number here. I just noticed this. And I've used this in training so many times and I just noticed it. Susie caught that. Okay, so some fraudulent documents, a fraudulent credit card. Just some things to look for. Again, if you are in doubt, go to your upline, go to the office. Make sure to get copies. I would say copies of the front and back of the card if you are in doubt. Never hurts to have multiple pictures. Here's an email that Jose got. Hello, I would like you to book me a flight ticket from New York to Toronto with the details below. Gives his name. LaGuardia to Toronto, back to LaGuardia. Departure date, June 14th, 2024. Return date, June 26th, 2024. In economy class with any available airline. Please send in an itinerary and fares, and then we will deliver the payment. Regards, Dr. Donald Houston. Okay. So, here's the issue. Number 1. Okay, this was sent within 21 days. Number 2, Jose has never dealt with this person. Big red flag. Okay, Jose got this on the 2nd, and they want to fly within 12 days. Number 3, only communicating via email. Number 4, no phone number. Okay, so 4 issues right there, red flags. Number 5, it's an international ticket, technically, because they're going to Toronto. So, number 6, look at this, Mr. and Dr. Okay, he tried to pull one over. So 6 things that I can figure are saying, not working. I would not take this booking, or I would respond to it in a way that I will show you guys in a little bit, because I like to mess with fraudsters. Let's take a look at another email. Dear sir, madam, hope you are very well. Please send me a quotation for these trips as below. Trip 1, Paris to Casablanca to Paris. Departure date 6. Now look at this. Okay, in Europe, they write the dates backwards. So they go day, month, year. So remember that, guys. Take notes on that. Day, month, year. And the reason why I can tell you that, this is from Europe is because EU. Contact at bontazacademy.eu, European Union. Departure date 6/8/2024. Return date 6/29/2024. Economic class. Dakar, Casablanca, Dakar. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. May 27th to June 22nd. This overlaps with these 2 trips. Okay, so this is issue number 1. Issue number 2 is that it's an international inquiry. Could you confirm to me that you accept remote bank card payments via POS machines, provided that they belong to the International Visa, MasterCard, or American Express circuits? If yes, are there additional costs and how much are they? I look forward to your responses so that we can make flight reservations with your travel agencies or with your travel agency. Best regards, Jean-Francois Barre, reservation organizer, Bontas Football Academy, email, blah, blah, blah. This looks like it's coming from France. Okay? So issue number 1, international reservation. Issue number 2, overlapping trip dates. Issue number 3, bank card. So not a credit card. Issue number 4, quick turnaround on flights. Jose got this in late May. Yeah. So I wouldn't touch this one either. Honestly, I would not touch this one either. Because this came unsolicited. Here's one that I actually received over the holiday season last year, back in November. Okay, and I sent this to Jose for him to use as examples, and he's still using it. So I received this from an Adam Kane. It was a flight and hotel inquiry and itinerary. He needed a quote for a trip departing from Lagos, which is in Africa, to Toronto on the 15th of November and returning on the 30th of November 2023 for one adult, including one room at any 3-star hotel for the first 2 nights in Toronto. Flight should be in economy class. Kindly forward your findings, i.e. itineraries and fares, to me as soon as possible, and advise the type of credit card your company accepts for payment. I look forward to your reply. Kindest regards, Adam Kane. Okay, so here's how I knew it was fraud. Number 1, look at the date he sent it to me. November 12th. Look at the date he wanted to travel. November 15th. Departing from Lagos. Number 2, Africa. Going to Toronto. Number 3, only 2 nights in Toronto on a 15-night trip. Okay? So 3 strikes right there on this itinerary that were fraudulent. So here's the response that I sent him. Good evening, Adam. Before I start working on this quote, I will require a $100 research fee up front due to the urgency of the trip payable to me by Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover. I will also need you to sign my credit card authorization form for that transaction and attach a copy of the front and back of the credit card being used, clearly showing the name and the first 2 pages of your passport as well, so that I have these documents to work from when booking this trip for you. When I book this trip, I will require a 10% service fee in addition to the price of the trip for the work that I will be doing on this trip for you. Please forward this information to me ASAP if these terms are acceptable. Okay? So this is one way to stop your fraudsters in their tracks. Number 1, service fee right up front, research fee, $100. I love messing with them. Okay, sometimes I'll make it as high as $250 depending on what the itinerary is. Number 2, the credit card authorization form. Number 3, attaching a copy of the front and back of the credit card being used, clearly showing the name. Number 4, the first 2 pages of your passport if it is an international inquiry. Number 5, additional service fee. Rack up those charges on them. Okay? 5 ways to stop a fraudster in 2 paragraphs. Right there. Here's another example that I received. Dear flight agent, my name is Gol and I'm the owner of Wozniak Interior Design. I've been in Accra, Ghana, so Africa, for the past 14 days on holiday, and I'm interested in purchasing tickets for myself and 3 friends to Johannesburg. We would like to depart from Accra Kataka International Airport, ACC, on the 26th of November and return to Accra Kataka International from Johannesburg or Tambo International Airport on the 9th of December. We have already booked a flight back from the US from Accra to the US from Accra after this. In addition, we would also like to book a hotel for 10 days in the Johannesburg area with 2 rooms and 2 double beds per room, preferably a Hilton or Marriott hotel near the airport. I would be grateful if you could email me a grand total plus cost plus taxes and booking fees so we can proceed with the payment in order for you to book the package with us. Thank you for your help. Sincerely, Joel. Now, here's where it gets tricky. And not really tricky, because this came to me. But look at the 2 line. Okay, so he did what's called a blind carbon copy, a BCC, on this email. But it initially got sent to dbryant@dreamvacations.com back on November 21st. Okay, so there's strike 1, November 21st. Strike 2, it was a blind carbon copied email that went to probably hundreds of agents. Number 3, never heard of Wozniak Interior Design, and that website actually doesn't exist. Found that out. Number 4, we have already booked a flight back to the US from Accra after this. Okay, why wouldn't you book tickets to Johannesburg at the same time you booked your tickets back to the US? Okay, so that's number 5. Number 6, the dates don't line up for the 10 days in Johannesburg. Where are they going to stay for the first 4 days? When they get to Johannesburg from Accra. Doesn't make sense. Just do the math. Okay? So 6 ways to determine fraud on that email alone. So just some, and again, this one came to me that I sent on to Jose. Holiday seasons are prime time for fraudsters to hit, guys. 4th of July, Memorial Day. I had 2 unsolicited emails and phone calls over the Memorial Day weekend or Memorial Day week, both of which were fraud. Okay? And I shut them down using the exact same way that I do every single time. I tell them about a service fee, my credit card authorization form, the fact that I need a photo of the credit card and their ID, and it shuts them down every single time. So here is the Archer Travel Fraud and Prevention Checklist. Okay, guys? Actually, they don't have it on here. Basically, what it boils down to is if your gut is telling you something is wrong with the booking, it probably is. Check with your mentor, check with your upline, check with the office, check with me. I don't care if you guys text me, email me, call me. If you have a gut feeling about something, I will talk you through it. Or your upline, your mentor, your gold, your platinum. We'll talk you through it. Jose will look at it and Susie will look at it and they will talk you through it. Does anybody have any questions about the 21-day booking procedures or anything about fraud detection and prevention?
No, it's just amazing. It's
Yeah,
just
it's amazing
amazing.
what lengths people will go to get free vacations.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous, to be totally honest with you.
yeah.
It really is. But it's amazing what cybercrime is doing right now, too. So we've got to be on our toes because we are in a virtual business, guys. So, well, I want to thank you all for being here today. If you want to review this training, it is on my YouTube page at youtube.com/@72andsunnytravel. Thank you all very much for being here today. I do my trainings every week. at 4 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays. My next training though will be with Mike Archer about sales techniques next week on Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, and then I will be doing another training at my normal time on Tuesday as well. So 2 trainings for me next week, but again, Mondays with special guest Mike Archer. So thank you all very much for being here today. Again, if you want to catch the recording of this to brush up on your fraud prevention skills, you can. Otherwise, feel free to contact me if you guys have any questions, or contact the office. The number is on your screen right now, or email evocustomercare@archertravel.com or Jose L at archertravel.com. Jose is gone until next week, until June 10th. So you can call the office and ask for Susie, or anybody in the office can really help you. So again, my name is Mark Krebs. I'm with Team Sunset, part of Team World Explorer and Team Rising Tide. Thank you guys very much for being here today, and have a great rest of your afternoon.
Don't